3, 2, 1.
Live up close and unplugged. Studio East, live performance studio, where rock bands unplug, strip it down, and get intimate acoustically. Studio East, powered by the U.S. Army. There's strong, and then there's Army Strong. Learn more about the U.S. Army at goarmy.com. Now, let's go live to Studio East.
Hey guys, how are you tonight? I am Stino. And let's give it up for the man of the night, Scott Stapp. Hi, Scott.
How you doing? Good to be
How
here.
are you?
I am doing good.
You get those earphones in, right?
Yeah, let me get my in-ears in here so I can hear it. Yeah, I'm getting a little feedback.
Let's fix that.
All right.
All right, are we good?
We are good.
So how have you
so
been?
good to see everybody.
How's touring going? Solo touring.
I tell you, man, the first week went well. Man, the shows were great. You know, we got to play 5 of the songs off the new record, and the response was great. And, you know, we're just having a good time.
I'm really excited for you because I feel like you got your juju back. You know, like you weren't around for a little bit, and things were just, I don't know, maybe difficult and stuff, but it seems like you're coming back with a bang.
Well, thank you.
And I absolutely admire it so much. So can you tell me a little bit about the space between the shadows? Like, what is the meaning behind that name? And also, you know, what were some of the inspirations that helped you write this album?
Yeah. Well, you know, you had mentioned it, and it's no secret, you know, for the last decade, I've been going through some, you know, pretty struggling, difficult times, a lot of it public. And I think that album title kind of reflects where I am today. You know, the space between the, you know, I spent so much time in that decade in the shadows, in the dark, in all these places that I found myself in. Some were by choice and some were not. And so I really feel like I finally gotten to this place in my life where I'm in the light. You know, I'm seeing the world in color again. You know, I'm got my feet on the ground, and
feels good, doesn't it?
And it feels good to kind of rediscover, you know, a part of yourself that you felt was lost, and that's really where the title came from, and it specifically came from a song called "Name," which is on the record. It's a lyric in that song, but it really kind of just summed up the journey that the record takes you on, because it goes into some dark places, but there's always a way out. You know, there's always a way to get to the light and to hope.
That's some positive input right there.
Yeah.
And I'm sure that this album, if you haven't heard it yet, you know, you should check it out. And also, you know, I'm sure it's going to inspire a lot of people, because we've all been in dark places before, you know, and music is a big inspiration for people. Now, Purpose for Pain.
Yeah.
I mean, that right there is like kind of explaining what you just said.
Yeah, I mean, that was a song that just came from me putting to music, you know, a theme that kind of became a part of my life when I was going through difficult times and going through struggles, because you know, you can really feel a lot of guilt and shame and embarrassment, you know, when you're going through, you know, whether it be depression and then, you know, self-medicating, you know, as I was doing, and how that spirals and whatnot. And you know, some wise person said to me, "Hey man, why don't you quit worrying so much about how you feel and start thinking about, okay, I can't do anything to change this situation, but what I can do is try to learn from it, be strong, get to the other side of it, so when I get there, I can use this experience to help somebody else who may be going through the same thing." And a light bulb just went off on my head, and I was like, so it's not all in vain. You know what I mean? So now I took all these years that I thought were wasted, and now they're experience, you know, that I've been able to help others, you know, who are going through difficult times in their life and with some of the same situations. And I think it really applies to many different aspects of life, not just depression or mental health issues or substance abuse issues or addiction. It can apply to any kind of struggle or tragedy, even that we face. That if we look at it and realize this is painful, this is awful, I wish this didn't happen, but you know what? I'm gonna fight through this, and I'm gonna help somebody else with my experience. And it gave me, at least from my standpoint, enough strength to keep moving forward and fighting on, and began to change my mindset.
Yeah.
You know?
And I'm sure it's safe to say that this album was just kind of that story of the change and also the experience, right?
Yeah. I mean, it definitely addresses that change, but also, there's levels of social commentary, on how I'm observing the world with clarity and with purpose. And this new outlook on life. There's songs that were meant to, inspire me, which in turn inspire the listener. There's songs that are crying out in moments of desperation. It's a rock record. It's got its real heavy moments, but it also has these vibey, epic kind of rock, kind of theatrical musical journeys, which I'm excited to share with the fans.
I love it, and I was wondering, maybe I think everybody else in here too is. Would you want to play a song for us? You want to sing?
Yeah. We'll start out here. I guess that's what I'm here to do.
Yeah, let's do it.
Well, thank you guys. Well, we're gonna start out with "Purpose for Pain."
All right.
And then we'll take you through a couple more off the record. So here we go, guys. I wait in the dark through whispering winds. I hide, lie, and wait because I know how it ends. In circles of hell, the weight of the world. Even in my dreams, I can't escape from myself. I sure fell into the light, thrown from the abyss. Screamed so many nights, not going out. There's gotta be more, 'cause life is insane. Gotta turn this around and find the
Give it up for Scott Stapp. I'm live in Studio East with Scott Stapp, thanks to the U.S. Army. All right, so that was awesome. I just had chills from that.
Oh, thank you.
You know, you see some bands and then they play live or they sing live and they're just not as good. I mean, you nailed it, and I'm not trying to sugarcoat anything.
Well, you know, I'll give them an out on that. Some days you have your good days singing, some days you have your bad days.
Truth,
you know.
for sure. We got to say thank you to Veilside for lending some guitars for you guys to use
Yes,
as well.
thank you so
much, Veilside Band.
Thank you.
All right, so you mentioned, you know, that you had some substance abuse issues and stuff, but now you're sober.
Yeah.
And how does that feel? And how was that journey? And also, I heard that maybe Steven Tyler had a little inspiration to that as well.
He definitely, you know, just shocked me and reached out to me. When I first started on trying to get sober in 2010, and man, he checked in with me every week. We spent 20, 30 minutes on the phone for probably 5 weeks, calling me every week, and sharing the purpose for pain. And when I said earlier, that wise person who gave me some advice, I didn't want to, you know, name drop or anything,
Yeah.
but it was Steven Tyler.
That was him.
And it took me a while to finally get it. You know, it took a bunch of start and stops, and then finally, you know, here we are, 5 years, 24 hours at a time, man. Just taking it one day at a time.
When did you start working on the album?
I started working on the record, I guess, January of last year.
So this was something that you did completely sober.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
with the Creed albums in the past and stuff, were you
Well,
intoxicating yourself? Or?
I wasn't sober from the standpoint of, you know, I still went out and had beers and,
Yeah.
and did some other things on my days off or on the weekends or
Yeah.
after work. You know, it hadn't become a problem yet.
Okay.
It didn't become a problem and shift into addiction and, you know, my depression until probably late 2001, early 2002 is when things started, when things took a turn, and it manifested and metastasized, so to speak, into that. Yeah.
And since you're able to talk about it, I mean, I'm sure that helps out a lot of people too, because there is a way out of all of that, you know?
Absolutely. I mean, you can change your life if you want to. And, you know, for me, looking back, there were so many times in my life that like something happened that should have been my bottom and should have been my wake-up call. But, you know, everybody's different, you know, and they say that your bottom ends when you stop digging. And I had to dig some more, you know what I mean? Yeah. And, you know, I got to the point where I was faced with losing something that means more to me than anything in this world. And that was my wife and my children. And that I had a moment of clarity and said, this is it. I'll do whatever you tell me. And it was the first time that I had fully surrendered and didn't try to do it my way, you know. Like, yeah, you know, I'll stop for maybe a couple months and then I can just do it this one time.
Yeah.
And, you know what I mean? This time it was whatever you guys who are sober and are living a sober life, whatever you're doing to stay that way, I will do whatever you do. Tell me. And it's called surrendering.
Yeah.
And I did. I surrendered my will and said, hey, I can't do this. I need help. And that's when the change began.
And look at where it brought you now. I mean, you're back. You know?
Man. You know, I'm
everybody's happy for that. Yeah.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you.
You want to play another song?
I would love to. I would love to.
What you got for me?
This next song, is this Face? We'll play Face? Yeah. All right. This next song is one of those songs I was talking about. That, you know, my wife and I, we had another child a year and a half ago, a little boy named Anthony. And I love being a dad, and my wife and my mother-in-law, who's I call Yumma. She is. Mother-in-law is not the right word. She's my mom, and they always make fun of me and say that I have a pretty strong maternal instinct when it comes to parenting. I'm just hands-on, man, and you know, so I spent a lot of time, you know, early on, you know, on the couch wanting to feed and wanting to just hold him and you know. And so I was flipping through the news and just seeing a lot of stuff. You know, I never really watched the news as much as I did during that period. And so it kind of got me thinking about just this chaos that, you know, you don't know which channel to believe. And it's like a different version of this story and that story. And then, I don't know. So it started with that. But then again, it got to a point where, you know what, I'm going to rise above. I'm going to live my life, follow my truth. And so that's the essence of what the song's about and how it came about. The song is called Face of the Sun.
Don't try and make me listen to all your superstition that you've been selling for so long. Yeah, you gotta stop the hating, the self-medicating. It's killing me 'cause you're so far gone. Yeah, you got to fly like a flame through the face of the sun. Rise with the fire till the battle is won. Blind to what the world says can never be done. Fight until the end in the name of love. I see 100 devils reaching another level, selling the high road to low. Yeah, they're lying to our faces and nothing ever changes. I'm saying yes, they say no. Hey, like a flame through the face of the sun. Rise with the fire till the battle is won. Blind to what the world says can never be done. Fight until the end in the name of love. In the name of love. Fly like a flame through the face of the sun. Rise with the fire till the battle is won. Blind to what the world says can never be done. Fight until the end in the name of love. Fly like a flame through the face of the sun. Rise with the fire till the battle is won. Blind to what the world says can never be done. Fight until the end in the name of love. In the name of love.
Thank you.
Scott Stapp live in Studio East, thanks to the U.S. Army. So I was reading something online, and you have a tour bus story about maybe you were on Scott Weiland's tour bus.
Yes.
Can you tell this story to us?
Yeah, man. I'll preface it with this.
Okay.
A lot of clickbait came out of that story. A lot of fake news.
Well, I wanted to hear it from the source.
Let's quote the Trumpster on that. So yeah, I'm glad you brought it up. There were no ghosts.
Okay.
There were no messages from the
From above.
spiritual realm. You know, we had a bus, and we were on it for a week or so. And I forget who it was, but somebody on the crew found a stack of VIP passes for Scott Weiland and the Wildabouts. And so that raised a question, was this Scott Weiland's bus? And so we asked the tour manager to call the bus company and find out if this was the bus, you know, the bus that he passed away in. Because I was sleeping in
That bad.
the bed.
Yeah.
And so I wanted to know.
Yeah.
You know?
That's a valid question,
You
isn't
know what
it?
I mean?
I mean,
And
aren't they supposed to tell you that, like, if you buy a house, if somebody died in it, or?
well, I mean,
I'm asking
no,
you.
no, seriously, you would think that, but probably the bus company knew that if anybody knew ahead of time, they would never rent this bus out again.
Yeah.
And so they were trying to keep it a secret. But, you know, the VIP passes gave it away. And we were, you know, fortunate that the bus company was honest and said yes, that unfortunately this was the bus that he passed away in. And yes, I was sleeping in the bed that where they found him. And
How do you feel about that?
well, you know, that's where, you know, the story turns. You know, just because of the situation I just explained to you, you know, with me sleeping in the bed and just knowing the past that I had and the demons that I battled with depression and with addiction. You know, I was in the tour bus bathroom and I was looking in the mirror and I was like, that could have been and should have been me. You know, I am so grateful to be here. And I looked at the whole experience as just a serendipitous moment.
Yeah, for real.
In time where I self-reflected and I looked at the experience and the reminder that this bus was that, you know, you don't want to go back. This is what will happen if you go back. And so somehow that got turned into, you know, his
ghost was haunting you.
But in a way, it, you know, however you want to look at it, the whole experience, the fact that it was his bus and whatever, it was almost, in a sense, the situation communicating to me, the experience of that whole scenario. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, that's definitely something that would just, you know, make me think twice, like, and thank also myself for wanting to change my ways, because you're right, it could have been you.
Right, absolutely, yeah.
What's the hardest thing about being on the road?
Oh man, right now it's missing my kids.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's the
How long are you going to be on the road for till you get to go home and see your new Anthony?
Well, actually, I'm lucky that the kids will be coming out next week because it's summer.
Oh, okay.
And so they'll come out for a week, then they'll go home for a week, then they'll come out for a week, and because I can't be away.
You can't wait. You can't last that long without seeing
we're
them.
FaceTime. Thank God for FaceTime.
Yeah.
You know
Seriously.
what I mean? And people probably think I'm an idiot, you know, in public if they're like, what?
We're all idiots.
What is he doing? Who is he talking to? You know, because I'm doing the baby talk.
Oh, that's what I do to my niece. I'm like, who's my baby?
Right,
You know,
right, exactly. You know, and all the things that I say to him at home, I'm doing over the phone.
Yeah.
You know
making weird noises.
But when you're looking at your child and you don't care who's around you, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
He does the same thing. He has a baby.
Screw it.
He has a baby girl, Giannis, who's 2 years old, and he does the same thing. And so that's the toughest part. Everything else is just a gift. You know, I feel like every show, every opportunity, everything that enables me to continue to be playing music at this point in my life after all these years and everything is just a gift, man. I'm just so grateful.
By the way, you've got a show tomorrow night at 1175
Yes.
Sports Park and Eatery, and you can get tickets at 95willrock.com. I think there's only a few left.
Yeah,
so.
we decided to do an acoustic show.
Well, that'll be a treat.
And so, but it'll be, you know, it'll be powerful, and we're going to do the same set we do electric, acoustic. So it'll be interesting, and there'll probably be some storytelling going on.
This is a good prep session here, right?
It actually is. It actually is. I actually, to be honest with you, on that last song, I have a note to remind you guys for tomorrow.
I saw you go like this. Go faster. Yeah. All right, so you ready to play me another song?
Yeah, let's do another one. This
What do you got for me?
This one is a very personal song. It's called Name. And, you know, it all started with you know, just looking at my kids one day and seeing our new addition and my other two children and just thinking all of a sudden, you know, with sobriety becomes clarity, and you start to really feel things because you have nothing to numb yourself anymore. So things come up out of the blue sometimes. You're like, whoa, where'd that come from? And it brought me back to my childhood and the fact that I didn't have that. You know, I didn't have a father. My father left when I was 4 or 5, and I never heard from him again until I think I was 18, and then maybe 5 years ago. And so, you know, I just started thinking about that, and I went into the studio and started talking to a buddy of mine who I wrote the song with, and same scenario with him. His father split when he was 4 or 5. He never knew him. And so we wrote this song, and it's about that. So here it is.
The time has come to break the silence, to tell the truth behind the rage. The years of living in denial, the time has come to turn the page. It's so hard to forget, even harder to forget. I am a son without a father. He gave his name and walked away. I am a man, now a father. I was a child who was abandoned, too young to fight, to have a say. Oh God, what seems so heavy-handed made me the man I am today. It's so hard to forget, even harder to forget. I am a son without a father. He gave his name and walked away. I am a man, now a father. I will be the space between the shadows. I will be the light inside the sorrow. I will never know that pain. I am a son without a father. He gave his name and walked away. Now a father, I swear, my son, no, he will never know that, never know that, never know that pain. He will never know that, never know that, never know that pain. I swear, my son will never know that pain.
Wow. That's from the heart right there.
Yeah.
Scott
Thank
Stapp
you.
live in Studio East thanks to the U.S. Army. That was definitely heartfelt. I'm sure when Anthony can finally realize the lyrics, you know, he'll appreciate that song from his dad.
Yeah, I think it was a cathartic thing for me too.
Yeah,
And
for
almost kind of making a statement that I'm not going to pass that down. I'm not going to keep that cycle going. you know.
Exactly.
We can break those cycles that get passed down in generations and families, you know.
Definitely. So on this tour, are you doing any Creed songs?
Yeah.
Okay.
Right now, the set's about 50-50
Okay.
until the new album comes out.
So what song out of all the songs that you've written means the most to you?
Wow. Oh man, that's a
Which one's that means the most?
that is a
That's-
tough one. I mean, man, wow, means the most. I mean, I think the song. I mean, man, there's
You could pick a top 3.
There's a few that had just like, created major change in giving me a career and then taking my musical career to just heights I never dreamed of. I mean, it starts, of course, My Own Prison, without that song, nothing ever would have happened after that,
Yeah.
And then, I think Arms Wide Open just took the band to a whole new stratosphere.
level.
You know what I mean? And then, man, one that every time I still sing it, I still feel all of them. But I really connect every night when I play One Last Breath, just because I remember that place that I was and where that emotion was coming from. And then there's other cuts off the records. Off Full Circle, there's a song called Time that I really connect with. Faceless Man, Say I, off the Creed records. And off my new record, there's 2 that I'm really, aside from Purpose for Pain, Name, and Red Clouds, which the fans will have to wait and hear on July 19th. But those are 2 I'm really connecting to right
I'm
now.
really proud of, obviously.
Yeah.
If I were to steal your iPhone and look through some of the music that you're listening to right now, what would I find in there?
You would find a lot of Chris Stapleton, believe it or not.
Okay.
Yeah. Yeah. I had the gift of seeing that man in a small room probably a month ago. And it was it was like a religious experience, this guy.
Life-changing?
I haven't felt anything like I felt when I heard his voice. I can't even tell you. Maybe when I first heard Joshua Tree, I got the same feeling.
Yeah.
Yeah, probably. But or Def Leppard, Pyromania.
Okay.
Those 2 albums. But I saw him live, and his voice and the caliber of guitar player he is, is just next level. And I'm not like this country guy. Like I don't. That would be the only.
Would you ever put out a country song?
I don't know. I mean, I'm a rock guy. I mean, I
All
like
right.
rock.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
well.
But so probably not. But man, I was just so blown away that I went and bought like all his albums.
So that's an overload in your iTunes right now.
Yeah, yeah.
Describe your relationship with Mark Tremonti. You guys are buddies?
Yeah, it's positive, man. You know, probably a month or so ago, we spent an hour on the phone just catching up and talking and just giving each other support and love.
Did you guys ever collaborate on something?
Who knows?
Yeah.
I mean, right now we're you know, I'm focused on this record and you know, my solo career, and obviously Mark is focused on other things. That's where our passions are right now. But if anything ever changes, you guys will be the first to know. But as far as, you know, people want to know how our relationships are and where we are as people, you know, very positive, very supportive, very positive.
That's good.
Yeah.
So you got one more song for us
Yes.
before you got to cut out, but we're obviously going to get some pictures and stuff for the website
Yeah.
because everybody has to see how great you look in that shirt. I'm thinking about buying my boyfriend that shirt.
Oh, thank you.
Sorry, I had to throw a little hit in there, you know. Like,
Cool,
I should have wore something else. I look like a bum today.
No, you look great.
All right, so one more song for us.
We're gonna play a Creed tune that you probably heard before. This one it's called "My Sacrifice."
Nice.
Whoa. Hello, my friend, we'll meet again. It's been a while, where should we begin? Feels like forever. Within my heart are memories of perfect love that you gave to me. Oh, I remember, 'cause when you are with me, I'm free, I'm careless, I believe. Above the others will fly. This brings tears to my eyes. My sacrifice. We've seen our share of ups and downs. Oh, how quickly life can turn around. And instead, it feels so good to reunite within yourself and within your mind. Let's find peace there, 'cause when you are with me, I'm free, I'm careless, I believe. Above all the others will fly. This brings tears to my eyes. My sacrifice. My sacrifice. I just want to say hello again. I just want to say hello again. fly. This brings cheer to my eye. 'Cause when you are with me, I'm free, I'm careless, I believe. Above all the others, we'll fly. This brings tears to my eyes. My sacrifice, my sacrifice. I just want to sail again. I just want to sail again. My sacrifice.
Hey, let's give it up one more time for Scott Stapp.
I wish I could take these guys with me on tour.
A lot of them are going to be at your show tomorrow night at 1175 Sports Park and Eatery in Kansasville.
Awesome.
Tickets available at 95willrock.com. And what a treat, man. Thanks for coming out.
Thanks for having us, man. We love you guys so much. Thank you.
Again, Scott Stapp live in Studio East thanks to the U.S. Army.
Thank you.
Live, local. Tomorrow night.
Scott Stapp of Crete.